In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
Welcome back to another pointless automotive podcast. We have not abandoned this platform. We have not abandoned the mortal coil, if you will. Frank, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic, man. And again, we were here last week and it feels good. This feels good. I mean,
back in the saddle.
Feels good to be doing it again, doesn't it? It's definitely something I've grown to love. We've been doing it for a little while now. And, as much as people don't listen to us and maybe even want us dead, we're going to resist it. And we're going to keep showing up.
Yeah, based on the random things that I get mailed to my house and threatening letters with like the individual letters cut out of magazines and yeah.
It's a lost
bodily
art.
fluids used as glue to stick in the paper to send to me. Yeah.
You're lucky you're still getting that. It's a time commitment to do one of those. I've penned quite a few myself. No comment further on that, but
that's right.
So today I thought this would be a fun topic. We always like to come up with little fun games, little challenges to ourselves, because if not, we'll just babble on about stuff that three people find interesting, and maybe I can get four people to find this topic interesting. But I was thinking world power threesomes. And,
boy.
Everybody likes world powers. Everybody likes threesomes. So, except for those left out.
Together at last.
Yeah, if you're outside of that, if you're like in an impoverished nation, or you're not getting down with the group bang.
What if that's how the axis of evil actually came to be? You had like Mussolini and Hitler and I don't know, Hideki Tojo, just like in like a absolutely unhinged, no holds barred, triple simultaneous climax three-way in order to form the Axis powers in the 1930s.
They made a spin-off video called the Asses.
Oh, the asses of evil.
The asses of evil.
Yeah. Boy. Okay. Interesting. I'll have to Google that later.
And great film. I don't know if they've converted
for the results.
Converted from VHS yet, but one of my favorites. But yeah, so the point of this World Power Threesome is today, guys, we're living in the 80s. We can do obviously 90s next time, but let's keep it 80s. We're going to look at the groupings of European automakers. We're going to look at Asian and American. Now, the challenge ahead of us is we have to pick a family car. We have to pick a sports car, and we have to pick an off-roader. Let's actually go sports car, family car, off-roader. And we have to do it for each of those groups, and we'll obviously get into some fun conversations. Now, this is kind of money, no object, but not really. Pick something like you would want, Frank Harrington of the fourth ilk. Go ahead and pick a combination you would like, something that you would be super proud of, and I will do the same. But yeah, man.
Okay. I'll start us off.
Oh, where are we going first? What region?
Well, first, pretty sure Mussolini would have been a bottom. Secondly,
definitely,
I'm thinking we should start Europe. Let's start with Europe.
Yeah, because you know what though? I mean, I don't know. America tends to come first, my friend.
USA. Well, what if I'm saving the best for last?
But if you're an American when you go into the bathroom, what are you when you're in the bathroom? European.
This is true. This is true.
Let's go with Euro. Yeah. You're right. What do you got for us, man?
You're a beaten. So for Europe, Europia, family car. I took a little bit of this is a car I haven't seen a clean one in a long time. Nice. It kind of gets overlooked a little bit. No, I'm not going with Sterling, although that was the 80s, right? I'm gonna go a BMW 533.
Oh, okay.
And so E28, right? Early E28. People might go M5, which is fabulous. People might go 535, which is the later car. I like the earlier car. It's a little lighter. I had a 633, and I just really like that slightly smaller, it felt a little more eager.
Yeah.
And it's practically the same amount of power. Like, I think it was like same horsepower, a little bit less torque than the 35s. But what I like is this would have been, I think, like 83 or 84. So at the time, I believe they were the fastest sedan sold in America
That's
when
cool.
they were released in like 83 and 84.
I believe that.
And so that makes it a little more interesting to me. Like just that little snippet of time, they're more overlooked. They didn't sell as many as the 35s and the 35 ISs and stuff like that.
Sure.
They're a little bit more dialed back. They don't have like the front air dam and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going with. Just give me like a burnt orange over ivory
Hell yeah.
633 I. Do you want to counter with your family sedan, or should I just do my full list of Europe and then you'll do your list of Europe?
Yeah,
What do you
let's
want
hear
to do?
your list because that's a
Okay.
pretty sporty family car. Sporty-ish.
It is.
Um,
It is. It was a mid-size car for the time, right? It wasn't a 3 Series.
What
By
are you
today's
going-
standard, it'd be fairly small.
Yeah, mid-size used to mean something. Now
Yeah, because
mid-size,
even like a 7
maybe
Series,
not.
if you did like a 733 or 735, that was a full size, and now that's like smaller than a Camry. So,
ridiculous.
yeah. And then for sports car, I went a little bit of a different angle. When I say angle, I mean angular. I'm going to go with an earlier non-turbocharged Series 2 Lotus Esprit.
God, they're good looking too.
They're so good looking. They're piles of garbage.
The interior is absolute garbage.
I'm trying to go an earlier non-turbocharged one just for the sake of simplicity a little bit.
Okay.
More simple, lighter, pure, I guess.
Sure.
The turbos are cool though, but they're all cool. Turbos. And so give me a late Series 1, early Series 2. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly where Series 1 ends and Series 2 ends. I think Series 2 started in the late 70s. So Series 1's off the table. So Series 2 non-turbo, Lotus Esprit, maximum wedge action.
Gorgeous car. Yeah, absolutely.
Gorgeous pile of garbage. And I want one. They're just stupid. They're dumb and they're cool.
They're cool.
And what's a really nice one's like 30 grand. Like it's not insane money.
Yeah, it's hard to find
like a really nice one.
No,
yeah, that's the thing. They're all shithouse kit cars basically.
Or they've been parked for like a decade plus, right?
Right. Yeah. And then off-roader, this is probably the easiest one for me out of Europe. There's a few options. Could have gone like earlier G-Wagon, but I'm going to go a 2-door Range Rover Classic.
Okay.
I think that's what I would go. I would go the 2-door Range Rover Classic because 2-door SUVs are both the worst and the best.
Yep.
And so, give me a 2-door Range Rover Classic. Powertrain immaterial, doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Truth be told, if you could secure that entire fleet in the nicest condition ever, that would be a pretty valuable little collection, and it would be super awesome to open that garage door.
Can I go quick honorable mention?
Yeah.
I almost, instead of Range Rover Classic, and in retrospect, I kind of wish I did. Fiat Panda, 4x4 Fiat Panda.
Yep.
Really, 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 really want one of those. I think those are so damn cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Different vehicle altogether.
Wildly different.
Yeah.
And I did not anticipate going to British cars because I'm like kind of not British car guy generally. I've got some of the cars that I've got soft spots for. The Esprit, the DB7, any of the V8, the Aston V8s of the 80s.
Yep.
Fairly cool. But
absolutely. Yeah. So little different, a little bit of crossover, but not really. Family wise, I'm all about the safety, man. I would get myself the cleanest Saab 900 turbo. And I think that's just,
I thought you were going to go like 760 turbo, but yeah.
No, I'm going to go Saab 900 turbo. And I have a soft spot for those. I think they look great. I love the
sedan
turbos. Yeah. Yep. That's the family car. Super safe, turbo power. I think getting towards the
good
end
answer.
of Saab looking like Saab. So Love it. I think that'd be cool. And those are super hard to come upon that are like clean anymore. Usually the paint's shot, interior shot, and it's just been sitting like always. But I think those are cool. I think that'd be a fantastic family car. Sports car though, I can't like pass up an E30 M3. I think that's like the absolute, motorsports purpose built. I would love a clean one of those, and I kick myself all the time for not picking one up back in the day when they were cheap, because that would have been a car I would have held on to. They're simple. They're from the era of BMW. I think the E30 is like that entire series, that chassis. It doesn't matter what motor it has. I'll take a 318i or a 325. You can work on those. Those are approachable BMWs. They look, I think, nailed the BMW look. I think, God, the 4 headlights, the grill, the kidneys, the right size, and just proportionally, I think the E30 is like my favorite. I'm gonna say it, like my favorite series of BMW. And that E30, give me some
the problem that I have with the E30 M3 is the 190 2.3 16 exists.
I've had one of those, so I gotta round it off, right?
It's true. They're both very cool. That and like just an E30 325 exists.
Yeah,
where those are still very good.
But stock for stock around a track, that E30
on a track, yeah. But how often am I on a track? But I get it. And they're far more special, and the bits and the pieces and the homologation and like all the reasons that we like cars.
Right.
Makes that a special car.
Yeah, I don't pay 60 grand for one, but if I have one in my 3-car, Euro World Power garage, I gotta go with it, dude. I just love those things, man. I still think when I see one today, I'm just like, it just looks right. There's something about that car. I don't think it necessarily justifies the price tag they're fetching, kind of like the Supra, the Mark IV Supra.
Yeah.
But I still see them and I still respect the shit out of them. I think they're fucking absolutely gorgeous. And for what they are, it's cool. It's a very cool car. I think it was peak BMW. So that's my sports car. Very close to you with my off-roader, though. I'm going the same company, same manufacturer, but I'm going Disco Series 1, my friend. Serve it up to me.
When was the OG Disco?
The very
launched?
last.
Was it 89?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if it was. I thought in my head, I thought it was 90.
No, it's like, I think it's 88 or 89. And I had to confirm.
And there's it was funny is some of those cars, like that feels like a 90s car to me, even though it is an 80s car. Like for a lot of it, I was thinking about, God, what was I thinking of? Like I was thinking of for US, I was thinking like a Jeep, the 2-door Jeep Gladiator, like the full size, like Jeep Grand, like you know how you had the Gladiator pickups.
Yeah.
But those feel so 70s to me because I think they made them until like 84.
Yep.
So I was like, I can't. Or like a CJ7 feels like or a CJ5 feels like an 8. They made them.
A Disco Series 1 has very 80s mechanicals, probably a lot of 70s mechanicals in there. But yeah, there's something just about those. I think those things, I remember when they came out, they really changed, the off-roading scene. They represented that higher culture, but still highly capable. And I think Discovery Series have always been capable, right? They might not be the most reliable, but good Lord, they're very capable out of the box. So I think that rounds it off nicely. A little bit of quirkiness in there. You got the E30 M3 is an easy one for me, but then I got a Saab and a Land Rover Disco one.
Yeah.
I think we got some cool looking garages, man.
For sure. And I think what's funny is I didn't even think about Saab or Volvo.
Oh wow!
And I think like the turbo brick wagon absolutely could have been.
Yep, I was close.
My family getter, or like a I don't know. There's a lot there. Really in any of these, axis of. I'm trying to think of another.
Asses of evil.
Asses of evil. The asses of evil.
Asses of evil.
Should we go to another tried and true actual Axis evil powers and go to well, it's going to be primarily led by the nation of Japan, but to Asia.
You want me to lead this dance and introduce
Asian go for it.
Threesome? So let's do family car. I went a little weird on this one, man. It's the 80s. Ooh. Japanese cars are still establishing themselves at this point. Nissan Stanza wagon with a manual.
Okay. Yeah.
Had to do it. Had to
The
do
one
it.
the one without the B pillar?
Yes, and it's
Where the
blue on
sliding door
blue.
grabs onto the front door and there's no B pillar?
Exactly, and it's blue on blue, so it's
Mhm.
blue velour interior, blue paint. Yeah, dude, I'm getting the manual version. I think these things look so cool. Like
They're wonky in a good
they're
in a good
weird
way.
as fuck. It's beyond boxy. So I think that's the family wagon. I really wanted a wagon, and I didn't go Volvo in the last one, so I made it up here. Sports car though, my friend. You know what I'm doing? And I didn't go big budget on this one. I'm gonna go AW11 MR2 supercharged, like the cleanest, nicest one. I think that's a fucking cool car, man. There's something about it. The naturally
For sure.
aspirated ones are fantastic, but those supercharged ones do bring enough power to increase the fun
Mhm.
factor, make it an honestly
For sure.
good performing car. And God, those AW11s have aged brilliantly, dude. They look so good. They look so good. So a clean one of those, hopefully in a fun color, maybe even red. I'll take a red or a blue. And I think that'd be the perfect little sports car to have tucked away from Japan from the 80s.
For sure.
And off-roader, I got to go Land Cruiser. It's going to be a 60 series, I think, for the 80s is the ideal one for me to get. And I just can't complain about that. It's like one of the most capable off-roaders. It's going to be pretty damn robust, reliable. I think those have actually aged well. The prices are out of this world. I'd get a diesel, money no
Mhm.
objects. And I think that's it. I get a manual with a diesel. I think that's a fucking killer vehicle for off-roading and just cruising around in.
Yeah,
So
those are good.
I think the Stanza wagon's weird, but MR2 supercharged Land Cruiser 60 series. That's my Japanese 80s kind of power threesome garage, my friend.
Well,
React if you
I,
want.
yes, I did not, believe it or not, I did not put the Nissan Stanza. Believe it or not. But what I did was I went full homer. I'm a Toyota kid at heart. I chose Toyota products all the way through,
Okay.
which you got most of the way there.
Mm-hmm.
For my family car, I want the Japanese equivalent of what I picked for the European car.
Mm.
And so Japan's answer to the 5 Series was in, I believe, I don't know if you can do the whole run. I know at least 85 and 86. You can get a Cressida.
Yep.
With a sport suspension and a 5-speed manual. So I had the TEMS, Toyota electronically modulated suspension, like sport and regular, and it did next to nothing, but it was cool to have, and a 5-speed manual. That would be my family car. Would be
Nice.
that MX60 chassis, 5 GE motor, Cressida. Not super fast, but buttery smooth. And just cool. Good looking car, row your own gears, rear drive, 6-cylinder power. Good car. For my sports car, I have down 1988 or 89 Toyota MR2 supercharged.
I knew you're going there, my man.
Same deal. Honorable mention would be the ST165 Celica All-Track. However, and Mark II Supra, but I've owned too many of those. I don't need another one in my life.
I should have said my honorable mention. Good honorable mention, by the way. Love your honorable mention, actually. I had FC RX-7 Turbo.
Yeah, that's also really, really good. That's right there. God, those are good.
Yeah, right. But
and you know what also would be another honorable mention for me would be the 280 ZX Turbo.
Sure.
So early part of the decade. I really like those cars. They're so much of that era between just that early 80s with the styling that's a little bit carryover from the 70s, but tried to make it all 80s, and the bitch and Betty when you leave your door open, and the digital dash, and turbo with no intercooler, and just wonky stuff that's just T-tops, two-tone, like swastika wheels, just deeply 80s louvers.
Yep.
So that would be good too. But I did put the same as you. I think ultimately the most fun car of that would be that supercharged MR2. They're just a riot.
Yeah.
And then for my off-roader, I considered the 60 series cruiser, not the 62, but the 60, right? I did not do that. I did turbocharged first gen 4Runner.
Yep.
Which it's kind of the wrong answer, because really you just want the regular one with a 5-speed, because you can only get the turbocharged with the auto.
Yep.
But for me, I think just the goofy turbo graphics, and saying you have the turbo 4Runner with the turbo all over the seats, printed into the seats, and all the goofball stuff, like that's sign me up for that. I don't need to.
That's cool.
I don't need to row my own in a first gen 4Runner. I would prefer it, but it's like SUVs and trucks. I'm perfectly happy with automatics in most conditions. So give me the weird 2-year only, low production number, turbocharged first gen 4Runner, and that would be my off-roader. I considered the Tercel SR5 4x4 wagon.
Yeah. Okay.
As my off-roader or soft roader, but yeah, give me the turbo 4Runner to round me out.
And Asia, like the Japanese sports cars of the 80s, that's like you said, we could have been doing honorable mention all night, because real killers there. And I think it's hilarious that we both settled on MR2 supercharged, because I think at the time, like, affordable mid-engine didn't exist. And that MR2 is so arresting, like how it looks. It's just, they're so cool to look at. They're so fun to look at. It's just a cool design, and it's like, it couldn't come from anywhere else but Japan and the 80s. So it's like perfect for that. The fact they strapped a supercharger in there, the fact that they're really actually pretty strong vehicles overall. Yeah, the interiors fell apart, the paint was shit, but if we're no money, no object, we're buying the nicest example or keeping it ourselves, like maintaining it. They're such cool cars, dude. There's something about them, man. I like the SW20s, like an absolute performance upgrade, but there's just something about those AW11s, the way they look, man. It's just
they're cool. They got those like kind of phone dial teardrop wheels. And they're just deeply cool. They had like the little switch that you could be like premium or regular gas, and just little quirky things. Very, very cool. I want one desperately. One day.
God,
but what's crazy is like
they used to
a clean one of those.
Dude.
Yeah, a clean one of those. They're 20 plus grand now.
Yeah, and they used to be like 775, 8.
The problem is, like, when they were 75 to 8 grand, that amount of money for me was the equivalent of that 20 grand today for me, right? Like, as far as what I have available to spend. And so, like, it's really still just not unattainable, but just more money than I want to spend.
I mean, that's the problem too. When you get a car like that falls into that range, once it dips below 7 back in the day, it gets into miscreants' hands. And I think it doesn't take long for a bad owner to F those up. And I know they rusted like nobody's business, and we don't have to deal with that here, but the sun baked the interior. They're always like cracked and everything's falling apart. Dashes. Seats are shredded. But dude, they're just, I don't know. I'd love to get one too, but like you said, $20K.
Yeah, you can maybe get one that's like driver quality for
12 to 15,
10 and 20. Yeah. But
So they were pretty rare though. I think they were rare. I don't think they had high production numbers.
2-year only. Yeah. And they're cool. And they were, people put them into ditches and did some dumb things with them, and they were a pain to work on. So some maintenance got deferred, and but they're cool. And I really, really want one.
Same.
Should I just go through what I really, really want? Should I tell you what I want, what I really, really want out of the nation of the United States of America?
You should. I don't know if the Spice Girls was the best music intro for the US, but
no. It's hey, they probably sold the most number of albums in the United States, just
probably. Yeah.
So in that case, Spice Girls, we've established American. Family car. What's funny is I probably had the most difficult time with the United States, but family car felt easy-ish because I went just the original Taurus SHO.
It's a great choice. Yes.
Like,
Talk about
just
sliding in at the end, my friend.
well, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right. But like, there's just I don't know what the other options are. I mean, what, get myself a Chevy Celebrity Eurosport? Like, I don't. There's just the family car option, unless you go, oh, I don't know, Ford LTD Country Squire,
It could be
perhaps.
something like that. But the show is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The early ones were the best. They had the more luxury oriented interior. I think after that, they started to look like corporate shitty Ford interiors. It could be a Contour, could be a whatever Escort interior at that point. I think the original ones were kind of original, and they only stayed. The 89 and 90 were the only two that looked like that. In 91, they changed the interior, I believe. So
Yeah, they got
the one
facelifted.
the one I had back in the day, that had a really cool interior.
You mean the one I had?
Yeah, the one that you told me
The one
that
that we had.
the one that was a little rough on the outside.
Mhm.
You know what's funny is all the work I put in that damn car, and I sold it to like a fucking museum for like 6,000 or 6,500 or
Yeah.
whatever it was. And during like peak COVID, that car probably would have went for like, I don't know, what do you think, 9 at least?
Probably, yeah, that's probably about right.
Yeah,
What's
because
wild is how much those cars have just not appreciated.
right. But that was and it was a first year, super clean, fresh paint, the right way, everything done right. It came out good though. That was like a 10 out of 10 car when I was done with it.
That's a car that drove better than it had any business.
Sure. And dude, I think I was the only one to put how to do the timing belt water pump on YouTube. And I still think I'm the only one with a how to do an
Probably.
original tourist show, because it's a weird engine, dude. It's a weird engine. A lot of people won't touch it. I thought it was pretty straightforward, but there was a fun car, fun project, all that work I put into it. But that's a great family car, dude, especially period.
Yeah. So I'm going toward SHO. I'm also gonna go. I'm not gonna do a double slide in the end. But really any manual C4 Corvette
Yeah.
is gonna be my sports car. It's there's some fun stuff like early saline stuff, like early saline Fox bodies. Very, very cool.
Very cool.
Like really cool. Like I've never been like saline Mustang guy, but like going back, and I mean, I've never even really been really into Fox bodies, if I'm being honest. But going back and looking at some of those salines, very cool.
So cool.
All that said, I've like when I was 8,
Yes.
I thought the C4 Corvette was a spaceship.
Yeah.
I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. The dual circle tail lamps and all of that. And so yeah, give me an 88.
Oh, good.
With a manual. So that would have been 88. I think was the first year of the 6-speed, or was that 89? It might have been 89.
Good question. I think it might be 89. Yeah.
So maybe I am sliding in at the end there, but it's effectively the same car, just with a real transmission, as a CF 6-speed instead of a Doug Nash.
Oh, gross.
4+3.
Yeah. Cool color palette to choose from too with the C4.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Lots of colors. They're made out of, like, interiors are made out of Legos and but they handle better than you would expect. They were very, very, very good.
They look good. They're getting better looking every year, I think. Every time I see a C4, that looks right.
Yeah.
Just looks right.
Off-roader, I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna zig where perhaps you zagged. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go with an AMC product, my friend. I'm going AMC Eagle Wagon.
Oh, I knew it.
Which could have been the family car, but no, I'm going AMC Eagle. Reliable. If you ever seen the seats on one of those, like old school, comfortable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a couch.
Practical, a lot of room. Terrible fuel economy. That's why they eventually stopped making them. Was just like, all of the size of like a Camry wagon with the fuel economy of a Wagoneer. And so
that 2.5-inch lift, man, that's what will get you. It's aerodynamics.
I'd like to get my hands on one of those. I've sat in one. I've never driven one, actually. But yeah, like they're pretty rad. Totally. I think they made them to 85, I think was the last year. And that's another one that, like, you look at the interior and it kind of looks like in 70s carryover.
It does, yeah.
But I that's what I'm doing. I'm not gonna go Bronco. I'm not gonna go Blazer. I'm not gonna Bronco 2. I'm not gonna go Ram Charger. Give me the AMC Eagle.
Okay, yeah.
Eagle me, bro.
You know what? Those Eagles, just looking at them, they just look dense and heavy. The interior, the outside. I just know that thing's got to weigh like close to 4,000 pounds. It's got to. There's no way that thing's
Yeah,
like
you'd
three.
think.
Yeah, there's no way. Um, Good choices, man. I kind of like what you did there. We have
Nothing overlapped there?
no, dude.
Wow.
So I'm gonna start off with family. I'm gonna pick a wagon. I'm gonna pick a Woody wagon. I'm going Buick Roadmaster, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's give me that smooth V8. I want the space. I just think that's a proper family vehicle for the time.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. I still think those things are cool. I like them hot rodded. I think that's super fun. It's cool. Now that's an 80s car that looks like a 70s car all day. So
Yeah, those earlier ones. Yeah,
yeah,
for
I
sure.
will. I'll
Before they
grab.
went like the later LT1 powered ones.
Right. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that Woody Roadmaster. That's going to be hauling the family. And I will be having a mullet because I'm rocking a Pontiac Firebird. Probably go Formula
Ooh.
Trans Am. And I didn't mention it on the last episode when we talked about projects we're looking for. Good
Mhm.
Lord, dude, how the 80s Camaros and Firebirds are just looking just right, aren't they? They just look so good nowadays. And they still haven't been like price gouged. They're
No.
still easy to buy. It's harder to find manuals with V8s, obviously, because that was a thing. Unfortunately, the American cars, especially the Firebirds at the time, like what was it? The it's killing me. The special packets, like not the
There's a formula,
yeah.
but
So
then you had
formula you
the
can get with a manual.
WS6.
They don't. It wasn't the WS6 yet. That was later.
I
It
think they
was
did a
the
WRS6. It didn't have the big schnoz Ram Air stuff, but I'm pretty sure it was like the hot
they
like performance
yeah.
handling package.
Yeah, because they had a couple packages that were automatic only. I don't know why I'm blanking on this. I know this all day. We actually had on a quiz once too, but it was a version of that. And then there's a couple Camaros like IROCs with V8s only came in automatics,
Right. So
unfortunately.
they had so the Firebird Trans Am. Then you had they had the GTA.
GTA, which I think is the best
Yeah,
looking one, but automatic only, which is similar to the
correct.
IROC. But I would get a step below that, whether it be a Formula or Trans Am, be super happy, get that manual. V8 rear wheel drive, just classic looks. I fucking love how they look. They've aged so well, and they're still cheap. And I don't think they're going to stay long. I think in the next probably like 20 years from now, they'll be fetching some good dough for clean ones. But yeah, I rock a Firebird. So I got Firebird.
Yeah, those are cool. You get the turbo, the one where they took the
Yeah, that was
motor out of the
interesting.
Grand National, and you had the
Yep,
turbo 6-cylinder.
those are worth a penny right now, though.
Yeah, those are cool.
Those are fetching cash. And off-roader, I like my small off-roaders. You know, that's not a mystery. I'm not going Chevy S10 Blazer. I'm going Ford Bronco 2, baby.
Yeah,
They just look
Eddie
right.
Bauer.
A little blue for my blood, but yeah, no. Ford Bronco 2, I would, mild lift, off-road tires. That's all you need to do, baby. And I would just rock the hell out of that. And that's a pretty American garage, dude. Firebird, Roadmaster, Bronco.
No, those are cool. Those what's funny is I still occasionally get an itch, and I'll poke around and see if I can find either an early Firebird or early Camaro that's clean, manual, Iron Duke. I want like
What
the
is wrong
90
with you?
horsepower. It's such a
Just get the automatic.
it's
at
such
that
a
point. Come on.
testament to cost cutting, like that where
Oh.
it would be so fun. And to be not fun, but like just having a hammer on it just to get on the freeway, and it's like just sounds awful. But I wanted to be like bone stock. And was it the Berlinetta trim on at least on the Camaro, where it was like the luxury, and they had like, I want to say like the HVAC controls and stuff, like you can swing them towards you, like they were pivot, like they could pivot towards you to like be more luxurious. It was like a weird, like a pivoting center console thing. Digital dash with the Iron Duke. Yes.
Dude, people get on the Ford Mustang too for being like a piece of shit, not following up in Mustang tradition. Those Iron Duke Camaros are pretty goddamn close, man. They're pretty
2.5 liter.
It's so bad. Everything about and the fuel economy wasn't even good on those things.
Well, no, because you have to be
Miserable.
floored 100% of the time just to move. It's got to be one of the worst power to weight ratios of any sporty car.
Oh, yeah,
ever.
Gotta be.
Ever.
I
want one. I want like the nicest one of those in the world is what? $8,000?
Those you want to talk about a car you can't
one?
find clean. You cannot find
they don't exist though.
Because it was a throwaway car. It was a piece of turd. So it's like, and God, talk about interiors that don't hold up. Those things are always thrashed beyond reason whenever you find a
and I want to say I think they only did the Iron Duke for the first like 3 years or 2 years or something. Like I don't just
you like that weird guy that looks out for the early Fieros because they were underpowered and catch fire. Is that you?
Yes. I want to live life dangerously.
God, those early ones sucked.
Yeah. Very, very, very interesting. Well, good. You know what? Good lists, I think.
Yeah, fun car. None of us went too crazy. We went pretty.
Like it could have been like LMO02 for my off-roader from Europe, and could have been, give me the 288 GTO and for my sports car and
Aston Martin V8, from the 80s.
Family car Lagonda. Give me the Lagonda, right?
Sure.
Like it just, but no, I think that kind of doesn't really work with what we do here on Another Pointless Automotive Podcast. Like it's not our wheelhouse.
You know what's funny is we named these, and then we're in the 80s this time, but dude, I'd be kind of happy with any of the 3-car solutions I picked today having today. I mean, we should have been talking in period, but if you were to open your garage and have this 3-car arrangement that you picked for either one of these regions, I'd be happy.
Period. How baller would you be?
That's what I'm saying. So
in period with really any of these, and not even like attainable baller.
Yeah. Right? The Euro one, I don't know. My M3 Saab and Land Rover Discovery, I kind of feel like that's the justification for a higher education poster. It kind of feels that vibe to me.
You'd be like one of the more rich people in your your immediate neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you wouldn't if you're like some of the stuff we could have been, you could have picked like Bezosian levels of wealth.
Sure. Yeah.
And we didn't do that. We would have been like, the rich guy on the block who has the series, the earliest Spree and the Range Rover Classic and the 2-year-old 5 Series. Like,
I mean, that being said, definitely trailer park guy with my Firebird, Buick Roadmaster, and Bronco too. But hey,
a
lot of good American metal.
That guy wouldn't live in the trailer park. He would just like own the trailer park. Like he'd be the guy that like lives there full time and is like, oh yeah, I own, that's how I make my money.
That being said, though, today in modern times, if I had all 3 of those in their most shitty versions run down, I'd totally be trailer park guy.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, that's it. God. Well,
that was fun. Good time.
That was fun. Should we transition? No, not like that. Should we transition to
elective
quizzing?
Surgery?
Yay! Mandatory elective surgery.
Oh God.
You got to be that was Smooth E, right? Local North Bay rapper Smooth E, who said you've got to be willing and able to put your dick on the table.
I'm not a good source for that material.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Yeah. God, what was the name of that song? Anyways,
you're the Quizmaster General, right?
We should go Quizmaster General. So if I will pull up an ad if you want to explain even to the kids at home what we're doing, why we're going to do it.
We're in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. So I'm going to do some mansplaining before it used to get called out. What we are doing now is our automotive print ad quiz game, in which case we find a magazine article from that period, 80s, 90s, mid 2000s, about a specific vehicle. In this time, Frank is going to be the Quizmaster General. He is going to read through the ad. He cannot obviously give it away, so he's going to be careful about make, model, any kind of other catchphrases or things like that. I have 3 guesses to figure out what the hell he's yammering on about. If I get stuck, I will ask for help, and I often do. So I'll ask for a little bit of a lifeline. I said love line, which remember that show, Love Line, dude?
Oh man, yeah. What's weird is what's his face? Dr. Drew got like He got like jacked.
I don't think I think he was always kind of in shape,
I
but
think he was in
yeah,
shape, but no, he got like he's clearly like
he's
just
fucking
like
jacked,
just
dude.
wolfing down Tren and just yeah, like and he's got like weird he's like he's like an educated Andrew Tate now. It's really bizarre.
It's great. I mean, you just hear kids talking about their boner problems for like 20 years. You're like, you're just gonna snap one day, right? And
That's true.
we got there. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Sorry about the love line. God, that
I
show
think I
was
remember
fucking hilarious.
I think I remember when it was like the radio show, me and some buddies, we would like in middle school, we would just like stay up at night listening to it and like calling in with like made up problems
There's still
about
websites you
like,
can go to.
my cat attacked my junk while I was
Yeah.
asleep and now it's all swollen and purple and like what do I do? Like I can't tell my parents because then they'll think I was like sleeping with the cat and I totally wasn't. I would never do that. Oh my god. And then just like rambling on.
There
It
are
was a good
websites you
time.
can still go listen to all those calls, which is absolutely fantastic. One of the worst ones, let's just do it. There
Yeah,
was a
let's get
love
into it.
line. There was a love line episode when it was on MTV, and it was Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla in the studio. A young guy called in and he said, "I got up out of bed last night. I had a boner. The bed sheets wrapped around my leg, and I fell forward
Oh,
off the bed." And
into
that's
what, the
when
dog? The
no,
Chihuahua?
he fell onto the ground, and his
Oh.
boner broke his fall, but popped. And he said he's had an erection for like 2 days. It was purple and just engorged in blood. And I'll never
Cool.
forget the way he described it popping. Just was like, and at the time I was a young man, not that I'm not a young man anymore, but a younger man. God damn, dude, that just the thought of that.
No.
Just, ooh,
Well, that happened to Dennis Rodman.
did it?
It happened to Dennis Rodman's rod, man, and like
Yeah.
on Carmen Electra, like he broke it on or with or around
Oh, that's fair.
Carmen Electra. Well, I mean, it's all fair. Like, I mean, you break it, you break it. You break it, you bought it.
Carmen Electra's probably working it pretty hard. Yeah.
I don't know. She probably wouldn't have to. Just like
wait,
at it
wasn't
and it
she
just
married
explodes.
to Dave Navarro too at one point?
I think so.
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
'cause I
What happened to
think
that guy,
that's true.
Dave Navarro?
What hasn't?
He was like
he was
super
on Ink
popular.
Masters for a while.
That's what I
right?
mean. Like he was super
We're just-
popular for like
This is tangent land,
3
folks.
years, and then he just like fell back into the ether. He
Yeah, good for him.
resurrected his career, and he had like a couple of solo albums, and now he's maybe breaking his boner.
Maybe.
somewhere.
I hope so. Probably not with her. I think they broke up. I think that was publicized. But anyway, I just laid you guys the rules down. Frank's
shattering
about to get through this. I've
facts.
shut my laptop. I'm ready. I have 10 minutes. Frank, roll that
Yeah.
beautiful bean footage.
Here we go. What's going to be fun with this one is I'm going to read you an ad. It's a one pager. If you need a hint, I will read you a second ad as your hint.
The last one of these was very tricky, but let's go.
This one I think is quite gettable. There's not huge technical. There is technical stuff, but not super technical, which is good because it would give it away if it was more technical than it is. So,
Dave
here's what we
Navarro,
got.
give it away, give it away, give it away. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, my dick, because I broke it on Carmen Electra. One pager. We have the vehicle in question, our passenger side front quarter.
Mhm.
It's just in the road, and there's like it's like there's like a scene, a scape in the background. There's like cliffs and painted hills and things. And at the top it says, "When it's time to leave it all behind, comma." Then it shows the vehicle in question, and then underneath it says, "Take more with you," in a blank. You'll know when it's time. Your mind will tell you. Your body will tell you. Then your family will tell you. It's time to get up and go. And there's no better way than to go than in a blank. Blank is America's most spacious minivan with even more passenger and cargo room than the new extended minivans. In fact, Blank seats 7 and offers 3 times more behind the seat storage than Plymouth Voyager, which comes in handy when you realize that leaving it all behind usually means taking a whole lot with you. Of course, Blank offers more than loads of room. Its power rack and pinion steering and four-wheel independent suspension deliver a ride that's uniquely European. And since Blank's actually shorter than any mid-size station wagon, it's easy to maneuver around town. Even the price is easy to handle. Blank starts at $14,800 $80. And blank shown above, it's a trim level that would give it away, I believe. It includes air conditioning, automatic transmission, and much more for just $18,670. So the next time you want to get away from it all, see your blank dealer and take the minivan that leaves all others behind. Chadwick.
Okay. This is interesting. I had no idea where the hell you were going with this ad at the beginning. There was a bunch of wishy-washy stuff, but then you got some meat potatoes, and I like the meat and potatoes. So European, already my mind's racing. What are we dealing with in the 80s and 90s? We had
and early 2000s.
In early 2000s, it doesn't sound like a Eurovan is where I went first. I think those would not be smaller than the
basket.
Yeah, what did they say? They said it was smaller overall dimensions.
And since caravan. Blank's actually shorter than any mid-size station wagon.
Okay, so that's
easy to maneuver around town.
Which I don't think anyone's ever described a Eurovan as being. I think this is, and I remember another van that's not European. If you remember, the Previa used to say, oh, it's a smaller overall dimension than like other vans because the engine was underneath the dashboard area and creeped in. It was just
under the freaking passenger seat.
Yeah. It's a weird situation. I think I got this one, man. I think I nailed it. I think if you wouldn't have said European, I'd be like, what the hell are we talking about? Maybe a dustbuster or something weird. But is this, let me get the name. This is called and what year were we talking too? This is maybe we're definitely in the 80s. Or maybe. No. Did you say airbags?
There was no mention of any safety equipment.
Okay.
At all. Didn't even mention brakes.
Okay. So let's take a shot at this. I'm going to say 88 or 89. Let's go 89. 89 Volkswagen Vanagon. Final answer.
When it's time to leave it all behind, take more with you in a Vanagon. Vanagon. And yeah, the European kind of
that made me
tells it all.
Yep.
Without that, I think
I would have
you had to would have worked with rack and pinion and four-wheel independent. And I don't think any of the and it crossed off. It said it would like kick the shit out of a Voyager.
Yeah.
Astrovans were solid rear axle, as were Aerostars. Windstar, I think, is a solid rear axle. I know all the Dustbusters were a solid dead axle in the rear.
Yep. To include the transport.
Correct. Yep. Like the Vanagon might have been Vanagon, Eurovan, even Previas were a solid rear axle.
That is right. Yep.
It would have been, you would have been. I don't know. I think the Odyssey and Oasis was an independent rear. Because it was they were basically in Accord.
Yeah. I'd bet that too. Yeah. But without European, dude, I would have been just guessing minivans.
Since we've got a tiny bit of time, I'm gonna read the bonus ad. Want me to read the bonus ad?
Do you think this one would have been easier?
It's one where if you know, then you would 100% get it. If you didn't know, because it's a product tie-in. If you didn't know, then you would have no idea because there are zero technical specifications.
What also made me think of the Vanagon is because it is like a Previa. It has like the same similar silhouette of how it's mostly, I always think of these vans as looking very unique, very different than like a Caravan is a more like traditional minivan. So that's what gave it away at first. And anything saying it's shorter, minivans were always like about space. So I thought it was really interesting that it said it was smaller than a station.
Yeah, and the trim level was the Carat, the CARAT.
Oh, okay, yeah,
was the trim level, right? And I feel like that if you know, like that's definitely gives it away. It wasn't like Wolfsburg edition, but
yeah, they're very different. They all had like that very short hood. Like the hood is like a foot and a half.
So let me read this other ad real quick because it's funny, and I'll show you a picture. It's maybe my favorite crossover, like brand vehicle crossover ever.
Okay.
It's official. Volkswagen Vanagon is the official vehicle of Hobie Cat and the World Hobie Cat Association. Volkswagen and Hobie Cat have teamed up to bring you the limited edition Hobie Cat Vanagon. It's the van that comes with an alpha sailboard, and it's going to be making waves at beaches all over America. Now, while supplies last, when you buy or lease this special Vanagon, you can get an alpha sailboard from Hobie Cat, plus our own specially designed sailboard roof rack and eye-catching Hobie Cat rainbow graphics, all for a special price. Look for this exciting Vanagon, the van with more passenger and cargo space than any other minivan at Hobie sanctioned regattas, or cruise over to your participating Volkswagen dealer. But hurry, the warm weather won't last, and neither will our supply of these special Vanagons.
I would have been sunk. I have no idea about the Hobie Cat brand.
You've
I've
never
heard
seen
of Hobie Cat, but I wouldn't have known I didn't know there was a Vanagon. Now it's like Trek bicycles, dude, like Trek and Volkswagen Jettas. Like would have got that, right? Like the Jetta Trek.
Yes. Click the link and then look at the graphics on the side of this Vanagon.
Oh yeah, it's fucking epic.
It's so sick. It's like it's so dope. It's just the Hobie Cat like sailboard like on the freaking door
on the van. Yeah.
Of the van with the rainbow graphics down the whole side. They're so sick.
Dude, that is awesome. Yeah.
And so it's one of those ones where it's like if the moment I would have mentioned Hobie Cat, if you knew, you would have, oh, it's Vanagon. But if you didn't know, you're like, what?
I didn't know that existed. I didn't know that vehicle existed. There's been a few of those, like obviously the Jetta Trek. I'm trying to think, are there
the
any
K2?
other...
You get the K2.
Yeah, and you have that
Jetta and Golf.
The LL Bean stuff to some effect, and Eddie Bauer. We can go like that, but just kind of Coach edition for
a few Lexus, the Pebble Beach edition SC430.
SC430. Yep.
There's a handful, but like I love it when it's like, you know, because the Trek's like you get a Jetta and it came with a Trek mountain bike, which is dope. But like, here's your sailboard. Here's your Hobie Cat sailboard. You know, like with the graphics down the side, so dope.
I can't even justify making sports cars anymore. And at some time, Volkswagen sat down and said, "We got to capture these fucking guys, this audience. We need to capture."
Hell yeah!
Good lord, dude.
No, what a thing. And I believe the original ad, it had a little copyright thing on it for 1990.
Oh, okay. So I was
we're right there. Yep, we're right there.
Good ad, dude.
Well, should we have some celebratory celebrating the various progresses that we are or are not making on projects?
Let's do it.
What have you been wrenching on or not wrenching on?
So houses, but besides houses, a big part that I consider of every project is getting parts and like doing an inspection, buying all the parts you need. And it can be challenging for weird vehicles like Eagle Summit wagons. So I actually sourced everything I need to do the timing belt water pump. That is not a vehicle where you can get a kit. You have to buy everything separately, like including the tensioner. It's a 1.8 liter Mitsubishi engine. It does have it's an interference engine. So that ups the fun factor every time. But I went and actually sourced everything. I'm going to replace all those. Obviously, I haven't been able to start the vehicle. I just literally got keys for it. It's been sitting since 07. So plan to do all fluids. It's all-wheel drive, so I got to do the rear diff, all the fluid there. That's where we start. Hopefully the clutch is good. You know, you hope these things, right? 200,000 miles, one owner. I'm assuming that stuff's going to be fine. Going to do brakes while I'm in there. It's, you know, disc up front, drum in the back. So I'll freshen all that up. And basic maintenance, man. That's all it's going to be. Plugs, wires, filters, fluids, any gaskets that are leaking. So pretty pumped. That time belt water pump job is going to be a pain in the butt because that hood is even smaller than a Gallant hood. And it's literally set up the same way. So it's right up against the fender wall there. So going to be a blast, dude. The water pump's barely going to angle out. But just securing all those parts, super crazy. I don't know how Rock Auto does it. I don't know how their Eagle Summit wagon like shelf with a fucking skeleton of a guy on a ladder where he was going to fetch the last water pump for a guy in the 90s. But dude, yeah, it's such a cool vehicle. I'm actually super pumped because it's super clean. And I'm gonna bring the paint back. I'll do a whole like compound polish and everything and get this thing looking mint, dude.
How are we not sponsored by Rock Auto yet?
Dude, I don't know, man. I love Rock Auto. I'll say it again. And dude, the cart looks so affordable until you add shipping. But anyway, Rock Auto,
right?
So damn cool. So
Yeah,
damn
like
cool.
they end up with like just stuff that some stuff super cheap for decent parts. Like you can get a bunch of no-name garbage for like impossibly cheap. But like
Yes.
I was looking for like decent like Monroe struts for the Woody wagon for the LTD.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were like 873 a piece.
Good Lord.
Like stupid cheap.
Doesn't make sense. How can they make it?
Yeah, like
Is
yeah,
that
it's
the
just
original price back in the day before
right.
inflation?
Yeah, it's just nobody's buying like for the stuff that we play with, nobody is buying these parts.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're sitting there, they're like actively costing these warehouses money at this point.
Bro, I
And so they're like, dude, give us anything and we'll just ship
take
them
it.
to you. Like we don't care. Yeah, like it's freeing us up space. And
That
so that's
89
part of the deal.
show, that 89 show, dude, that I bought
Mhm.
off you. I bought Motorcraft wiper blades.
Yes.
And they were the fucking ones from the 90s. I'm not joking. The packaging, everything. They
Yeah,
were
hell yeah.
yellowed out like they've been in a warehouse, like maybe some sun at one point. Dude, I was so when I took photos and everything, I was like, dude, they sent me the original wipers.
So sick.
So sick, dude. But like Galant VR4 air filter is the only place you can like find them on Rock Auto. If you want like a
Yeah.
Galant VR4 air filter for
Mhm.
like under $10 or
Yeah,
like five, $6.
I had bought like two spares.
Same.
And they were
Yeah, I got a
Bosch
pile
units.
of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is like
Shit.
shame on me. I just like sent them with the new owner of that thing. But like I just went and looked real quick. Okay, shock, strut, LTD. Oh, sorry, I was wrong. Monroe, excluding police package, $7.45 for the fronts. And what is it for the rears? Well, the rear's more expensive because it's wagon specific. It's Country Squire, so $13.79 for the rears. And that's PRT, so that's like a no-name brand. If I want to step it up to Monroe Country Square, $17.
Yeah, that
pop.
the shipping can burn you a little bit. And that's the difference, right? But man, like you said, like I get my NGK regular, copper spark plugs for like $1.36 a piece. It's like,
Yeah.
the fuck, dude. Can I pay you with coins, sir? It's so affordable. I love it. I still love Rock Auto a ton. I love how it's like going through an old parts machine at like your local
Yeah, the old catalog.
local parts store, right? So it's so cool. But yeah, that's a task in itself, like trying to find all these parts for these weird cars. My big concern about this project is the windshield does have a crack in it. Now my Isuzu Trooper had a crack, and I bought the only one in existence. A local company had one in a warehouse and came to me. Safe Flight, all the big brands didn't have it. And this is another weird car because this doesn't share anything with the Summit. The Summit name is nothing on this wagon because this is Mitsubishi Expo LRV, which are very rare. And there was a Plymouth one, come to find out. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But who's stocking those windshields anymore?
Was it the Colt Vista?
Nope. It was a completely different, and it was only front wheel drive.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is gonna bug me.
I gotta look at
Plymouth.
Maybe you sound close, but I don't think that was it.
What year is yours?
Mine's
92?
92.
So I'm gonna go. It's because I happen to be in Rock Auto's catalog right now. I'm gonna
You'll probably
go.
see.
I'm gonna go Plymouth.
I'm like
1992.
a Wikipedia away from being able to answer this.
They had a Voyager, Sundance, Laser, Grand Voyager, Colt Vista, Colt, Acclaim. It's not an Acclaim. The Colt Vista came with the 1.8 or the 2.4.
Ooh.
That might be it. It might be the Colt Vista. 1992 Plymouth Colt Vista. This is very riveting. It's the Colt Vista. It's the Colt Vista.
Is it 100%? Only front wheel drive though, right?
Front wheel drive. It says available 4-wheel drive, but it's the same damn car.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And I saw one for sale.
1.8 manual 4-wheel drive wagon. Yeah, Plymouth Colt Vista, 92 to 94.
Oh, it's called an Eagle Vista in Canada.
Ah, look at that.
Interesting.
Canadians.
1.8 single overhead cam. That's the one I got. So
that's it.
Interesting.
Well, tell you what. Speaking of wagons.
Yeah, you've been working on a wagon? Is that
sort of the LTD?
Yeah.
The LTD Country Squire. I've decided that I just need to immediately get rid of it. No fault of it. Just all fault of me because I need to not have it or other things in my life. So on this last Friday, I like midday, I was like, all right, let me take a lunch, working from home. I'm just going to drive it to like the car wash joint down the street. So that way later when I'm done working the day job, I can take it out at golden hour and take some photos of it. Right. So I go to the local, $6 row your own boat, wash your car, spray job place. Busy as all get out. Right. And I was like, 3-day weekend. I'm going to wash my car. And I was like, God damn it. So I was like, I don't have time for this. So I just drive it back. And so when I come back to my house, because I live next to a high school, the one parking space that was available on the street, which I had just left, now somebody parked in it. So now there's nowhere to park on my street. I'm like, yeah, goddamn. So I just like, whatever. I'll just go down to the end of my street. There's a Safeway. I'll just park it in the big Safeway parking lot there. Great. So I park it in the Safeway parking lot. I've done this with cars before, right? Just I can leave a car here for a few days. It doesn't really hurt anything. They don't care, whatever. So I do that, right? So this was on Friday. I shot a wedding on Saturday. Got back late. Sunday morning, I'm like, okay, let me go. I had to go like take the photo booth back and drop it off and move stuff around. And then on my way back, I'll reposition. I'll just get this thing out of the Safeway parking lot and put it back in front of my house. I'm gonna do all that. I go there. I go to the car. There's a homeless woman living in it.
Oh my
God! She's just inside it taking a nap.
Was it not secured or?
No, I apparently not. Apparently, I didn't. I did find the passenger door. The power lock doesn't actuate that door. You can lock it manually.
Shit. Yeah. Okay.
So, because I walk up to it and I see the vent. It's got the vent glass.
Yeah.
The driver's vent glass is open. I'm like, And so I look, and there's I see a tuft of hair coming out of the top of a sleeping bag, and then like a bunch of like bags and luggage and stuff in there.
Oh no.
So I'm like, God damn it. So I just opened the door and I'm like, hey, you got to get out of my car. Like, knock, knock. And just like, that's like, you cannot be in my car. I need you to just
congratulations. You are now a landlord.
Yeah. Is a response. So they say, okay, look, I'm going to leave. I will be back in 5 minutes. You need to take that 5 minutes to gather yourself and your things and please get out of my car. I don't care where you go. Like, I don't want to call the police for your sake and for my sake. Like nobody needs to be involved here. I just need you to not be in my car.
Yeah. So
I'm going to leave. I'm going to let you do your thing. But when I'm back in 5 minutes, I need you to not be here and I need you and your stuff to be gone. Is response. Okay, fine. I shut the door. I just go to the other side of the parking lot and I'm in my Suburban. And so I just parked there because I was towing stuff. So I had Suburban. So sure enough, 45 seconds later, the rear driver's side door opens up and she comes on out with a Chihuahua. She had a dog in there with her.
Oh God, dude.
And she's there. Then she walks like, I don't know, 10 parking spaces over and she's just like chumming it up with some other people that are living in another vehicle. Like it was like a Nissan Quest or something.
Oh.
And yeah, so they're just talking and whatever. And so I go, okay, 5 minutes are up. So I drive on over there and she's not in it, but she's got like
all her shit, right?
Yeah, just like, not an enormous amount of stuff, but like there's like a couple of shopping bags worth of stuff and the sleeping bag and a couple of pieces of luggage. And thankfully, I don't think she'd been in there a terribly long period of time. No weird smells, no anything that was off-putting other than somebody being in your car when they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So I just picked all her stuff out of the car. I just sat it on the curb right next to where the car was parked. I then drove back to my house to drop the Suburban off and then walk on over to get this car. So I walk on over and now she's back like talking to other person in another random car that is pulled up. And she's talking and she's like, oh, that's the guy right there. I think he's a cop. He sounded like a cop. And I just look at her because I'm walking over to the car. I'm like, yeah, I'm a cop. Like that's you nailed it. I'm a cop.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, just like was being like shitty with me. And I'm like, hey man, like you do what you got to do. I'm sorry that you're in the situation that you're in. if you see my car like in this neighborhood, please just don't sleep in it. Like that's like I'm really trying to like set the bar impossibly low. Like I just, stay safe, stay warm, like do all that. I just need you to not be in. It's just not probably a safe call for you to just break into random people's cars and parking lots and sleep in it. Like you got to do what you got to do. It's the summer in California. You'll be okay. Like there are other options. So like, just please don't get in my car again.
Frank, you always offer the wildest PCP. I'm not.
And so that's it. So I got the car washed and deloused, and I took photos of it and did a little walk around video of it, and I've got it on Facebook Marketplace right now, and I'm getting the predictable lowball offers. I've gotten some offers I probably would take, but
how much did you list it for, if you don't mind me asking?
I put it up at 58.
Okay.
I'm in the car $2,500. So yeah, I've already gotten a bunch of $3,000 offers, which I don't want to take. Because it's just a kick in the dick lowball offer, right?
Yeah.
There's one guy that offered before, which I'm kind of inclined to take, but off of 58, that still feels like somebody that's just like not even really serious. And so I said, like, hey man, I've got an offer on the table. Somebody wants to come next week at 45. If you wanted a 45 before then, sure, come get it. And I haven't heard back. That was like 4 hours ago. So who knows? So we'll see. Like if I don't have more than 4 by this time next week, I'll probably reach out to the 4,000.
Yeah, it's all depends on your timeline.
See Vende, come get it. And
yeah, you can hold out, maybe get that a little bit more, or you can just like say fuck it. I'm in the green.
I need to say just fuck it, honestly.
Yeah,
because I have, I don't know, people trying to move into it.
Yeah, true.
And I would still make like $1,500 if I sold it for 4, which is great. I can do that, like just on a like. So I might just do that, but I'll get on the other side of the weekend and then make a judgment call. And who knows, that guy might be full of shit anyways, right? So the $4,000 might turn into $3,000, and we'll just hear, oh, I said $4,000, but now I'm here with $3,000. Like he already chipped $1,800 off his price. Like he's gonna do more.
Sure, yeah.
And I maybe would, honestly. I don't know. Like 3,500 is probably my extreme floor.
Yeah,
I'm still making money on that.
If he shows up with 4 cash, you might just say fuck it, right?
Oh yeah, I
Take
would.
it.
I'd be like, whatever. Here it is. Get it gone. Enjoy. So but it's cool. Like I've been driving. I put like 30 miles on it, just flying around. Air conditioning's cold.
Oh yeah,
it just goes down the road.
Smells a little bit like transient and chihuahua.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all in character.
Yeah, and so yeah, and that lady, like, God bless her, but I was just like,
let's close it.
We'll close it
Frank
down.
Evicting people from his. To be fair, parking in fucking store parking lots, Frank. This is.
And I told her, I was like, hey, like, just like, please stay safe. And her response was like, I don't want to stay safe. I'm tired of playing safe. And I was like, I'm not getting into this. I'm just leaving. Like, I can't.
That's the right fucking attitude. That's why you're sleeping in strangers' LTDs. But
sure. Yeah.
Anyway,
to be fair, a dusty LTD with some body damage probably does seem like a pretty
spacious. I mean, give her that.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely. Yeah. It's more than the studio. So yeah, guys, thanks again for tuning in for this absolutely always pointless conversation. You can follow us at Instagram. I don't think we posted for months, so check that out. Why not?
Oh, several months.
We also post on YouTube every time we release, so it is our visual companion to our audio experience. So check it out. We do put the videos up there, release just about the same time as the audio. So check that out. Subscribe. That's cool. Leave some comments. Rate our podcast. Frank, where can the good people follow your personal endeavors?
When I'm not
a cop,
when I'm not a cop, and when I'm not harassing the unhoused. I am primarily is taking pictures of cars. I do that a lot. And so that's at the photographer's garage and all of the things. Yeah. And then also don't forget to catch us on our side channel that we're launching, Chadwick and I here, where all we do is we taste and we rate different flavors of sparkling waters, bubbly waters, if you will.
I almost said
LaCroix.
I almost said we're bringing back bum fights, but no, it's
no.
That was horrible. Man. I feel horrible for saying that.
We are not. I don't want. Although watching that guy troll Dr. Phil that one time was kind of funny.
So good.
No, but we will be rating and ranking various seltzer waters. How about we'll launch that soon, so keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, Chadwick, where can you be stalked?
Yeah, if you have to, I won't resist. So Auto Obsessive Garage on the YouTube, mostly rescues, restorations, and reviews of fun cars, all kinds of crazy shit, whatever I can get my hands on. I need to actually put some content together. I've been got a bunch of work coming up with this awesome Eagle Summit wagon, one owner, cool example, cool car, super rare. That'll be a fun project series. So check that out. NX 2000 review coming soon. As always, we thank you guys from the top of our farts and bottom of our hearts. And
still works.
Thanks for spending time with us.
Yes.
Welcome to Detective Frank's Homeless Eviction Show. But we love you guys, and we'll not good. We'll catch you next week.
And hopefully, I will not be catching hepatitis from the interior of my cars. Have a good one.
Bye, guys. Take care as always. Peace.